Welcome to Base Sunday, everyone. I'm your host, Frank Malika. Good to have you on board. Got another big show for you today, and we begin with a tour of wine country. Sort of. No car needed, just a pair of solid running sneakers and a whole lot of guts and guile. We are talking about the Napa Valley Marathon, sponsored by Kaiser Permanente. Now in its 38th year, a beautiful trek along the Silverado Trail from Calistoga south down to Napa. Let's say hi to the race co-event director, David Hill. How are you?
Fine, Frank. Good morning.
Good to have you back. We
you.
had you in last year, and you had a big event, and here we go again.
And we're ready for another big event.
Well,
hopefully better than last year.
I was just going to say,
last year was pretty good.
Well, let's talk about the weather, El Nino. I bet you're glad this is coming up in March. Although, who knows what's going to happen then?
We don't know, but by the same token, last year we had beautiful, beautiful sunshine. But it's always iffy at this time of year, as you know, because we don't know. It depends upon what Roberta says, whether we're going to get good or bad weather or not.
Well, I know marathoners like it a little bit on the chilly side. You don't want it too hot and parch, all that kind of thing.
Race start time, we start about 37 degrees in the morning at 7 o'clock in Calistoga, and by the time the race is over, we're about 60, 65 degrees on an ideal day.
Yeah, 2+ hours later, and for a lot of people, 4 hours later. Well, let's talk about the trek. You start in Calistoga, you come down the Silverado Highway, you end up at Vintage High School. What are they going to see along the way?
You're going to see the blooming mustard fields, and they're just absolutely gorgeous. This beautiful yellow fields on both sides of the road, and the vines that are, of course, dormant. And then you get to hear the sounds of the valley, the fauna, and see the flora, and it's just wonderful. And the road, we have the road clean before the race, so we try to get rid of all the stones and the skunks, because it is skunk mating season at the beginning of March.
Okay.
So we do actually send a crew out.
That could be a problem.
Yes, it could.
Do you send a memo out to those guys saying,
no,
hey, wait a minute?
We send a crew out on Saturday, and we do clean the course.
Oh, no kidding.
Make sure that doesn't happen.
Well, that's great. Very popular. And I imagine you've been sold out, the last 10 years?
Yes.
And you get, 3,000 runners?
3,000 total runners, yes.
And they must come from all over the world, because this is a destination run.
It is. And we have 17 countries represented this year, which is about 3% of the total. And we have 5 Canadian provinces, and we have 46 states. Nobody from Kentucky, Iowa, West Virginia, or Vermont. And we're trying to get these people
come
to come
on,
out
get
and,
on
and
it.
see
I
us.
they're busy in Iowa caucusing, I guess, or something. But you got to get on that. And vote it in the top 10 as one of the premier marathons.
That's correct. American Express Departures magazine and also Forbes Travel magazine in 2012 and in 2014 said we were one of the top 10 destination marathons in the world. And that puts us up against races like Boston, Big Sur, London, Paris, Rome, and all these other big marathons. And we're just this little country marathon. And
yeah, but you're in wine country, and that says a lot.
That's right.
Guess what you do after you run the marathon? You spend a week there and enjoy the beautiful area, I would imagine.
We do.
Right?
We have people that come in, and they stay on an average of 3.7 nights. Yeah. And they do spend money, and we like that. Our Visit Napa Valley, our legendary Napa Valley folks like that, through the transit occupancy tax and the wineries and the restaurants and things. So we try and treat these folks nice.
Now, for the spectators that want to watch, it's kind of tough, I guess, right?
Yeah, it is. It's really difficult. The best way to see it is at the finish line, because it opens up at Vintage High School, and you can see runners coming into the finish chute. In addition, after that, we have an award ceremony, and there's a large area for people to congregate. But it is difficult. There are feeder roads from Highway 29 over to the Silverado Trail, but the parking is extremely limited, and you can go and see your loved one or your mate run, and then move on.
Well, the loved one will get one of these. We'll just put it up. Everyone that finishes the marathon is going to get a medal, and we'll get a shot of that. There we go. As my hands shake a little bit, but these are well earned. I mean, 26+ miles. It's no easy chore. No,
it isn't, and the people have trained an awful lot for it. And they have a real sense of accomplishment. Yeah. Dick Beardsley is coming back this year, and Dick holds our course record at 2:16.
Oh boy.
And Chris Mocco, a local young man from San Francisco, has won 3 times now. And last year, I think his time was 3:22, 3:23.
Okay, well, that's phenomenal. I
So,
covered 25 Boston marathons. I never run one, but I know what it's like just to follow someone. That's tiring enough. It's March the 6th, 7 a.m. start up there in Calistoga. David, thanks so much for coming in.
Frank, it's a
really
real pleasure
appreciate
seeing you again.
All the best with the run. If
Thank
you'd
you.
like more information about the Napa Marathon, just go to napavalley-marathon.org. That's the napavalley-marathon.org. Nice and easy. More Base Sunday right after the break. Stay there.